Today we are going to draw Baby Yoda. So today you're going to need your pencil, a piece of paper, and whatever colors, crayons, or colored pencils you would need. You could also use watercolor too if you'd like, or markers. So whatever medium you want, you may use that. But today for me, I'm using my colored pencils. So this is what Baby Yoda is going to look like at the end. I'm going to take out my plain piece of paper, set that one aside. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Baby Yoda's eyes, okay, because that looks like the main focal point. So it's going to be just two pretty big circles for his eyes, just like that. And then I'm going to draw two little white circles, will be on the inside. What are your cutie eyes? And we're gonna color that in later, okay? And then a tiny little nose. Now for the head, it's just gonna be, looks like a hill, okay? So I'm gonna start from one end to the other. I'm gonna start a little bit past the nose, but further down. So you're gonna make like a little hill, just like that. And then we're gonna add the ears. The ears, depending on how big you made the head, is just gonna go all the way up to the edge of the paper. So here's the top part of the ear, so I'm gonna start here, and then we're just gonna make a line, and it doesn't have to be straight. And then there's a little flap here for the inner part of the ear, and it's gonna go a little bit higher, okay? And then for the inner ear, it's gonna go like this, okay? And do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so there's Baby Yoda's ears. Now, it looks like Baby Yoda is wearing a jacket, and so this part is gonna be the collar. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at this line right here, and I'm gonna go, it's like I'm going down a slide and meet at the center which is a little bit below the nose. So slide down, stop, and slide up, stop. To make it look like a big collar, I'm gonna curve down, stop about here, and then you're gonna follow this line. And you're gonna stop here at the middle. And then if you want, you draw a line here too. You're gonna curve back up and make the curve this way. Okay. So now you can see his head's now resting inside the jacket's collar. Then we're gonna make the sleeves. So we're gonna draw a line this way, and you're gonna draw a line that way, okay? And we're gonna make the cuff of the sleeves. So it's gonna be, see how I'm following the way the diagonals are for this side? I'm gonna do the same thing here for this cuff. Little mini rectangles. Then I'm going to add a little bit of a crease here and here to show that's where the sleeves are. And then we're going to add little hands. Okay. And then for the bottom of his jacket, you could go, depending on where you draw it, you could go all the way to the edge and stop. When I drew my other Baby Yoda, who's actually smaller, so there was more area for the bottom. So I'm just gonna go all the way to the bottom and stop at the edge, just like that. Now, when we're going to start coloring, you're gonna need all the colors you need. So I have different shades of green and brown. And then I'm gonna take out my black first, and I'm gonna color his eye. But so I'm only gonna do part of it, as I always do for directed drawing. And then you could pause, and you could take your time, rewind, whatever you want. Okay, because these drawings, they take a long time, especially if you want it to be as detailed. Or just depends on how you feel. So see how I left this part and this part empty. So don't color those in. Go around it. And you're also free to just shift your paper so you could get around the hard parts. Okay, so there's one eye, and you do the same thing for the other eye. So I'm going to show you how to color the inside of his ear. So what I'm using peach and pink. So I'm going to shade in the inner part of his ear, dark to light. Okay, I'm going to get the pink, and I'm going to color it darker also on the inside and kind of go over it. The fun thing about colored pencils is the more color you add to it with the different shades, the more realistic sometimes it looks, and it gives more depth to your drawing. Okay, see how I filled that in? So you can do the same thing with this ear. Okay, now for Baby Yoda, I got my dark green colored pencil, and I'm going to add hair to the top of his head and also the top of his ear. Looks like little grass growing. Okay, and then when you color in Baby Yoda, always start with the dark and work your way in. Now what you could do, so I'm leaving it blank on purpose, and I'll tell you why in a second. So here I'm going to put some creases on his forehead. So I'm going to use dark, and I'm going to color light. And what you could do is, remember how I taught you to cross hatch? So you start here in the corner, kind of color it dark, and then you could just work your way. So here I'm going one direction, and then turn my paper over and go the opposite direction. Cross hatching is a fun way of shading and add more depth to your drawing. Okay, so that's that. So I'm gonna show you using a different color. So here's a different type of green, and remember how I left this area blank? I'm gonna fill it in. I'm gonna color that part in, and I could even color dark to light with that, so you're not using all of the same shade at once, just like that. Do you see how it looks more, it looks like you could actually hold his ear? The same thing for his head. So I'm gonna fill in the white space. Normally, when I'm actually coloring all of this is already in that with that dark green. I'm just showing you part of the way. And like I said, if you get tired, stop. You could always rewind and go back to this another day. So as you can see, Baby Yoda's filling in, okay? So you do the same thing for the rest of his head, his other ear, and his hands. And as far as the jacket, you're gonna do the same thing. Now the jacket, I'm looking for my dark brown, and you're gonna outline parts of it. And what I like to do is I'm gonna add some creases to the collar and to his jacket, because his jacket is not straight. It has wrinkles, it has creases, because when he moves, creases are everywhere. So wherever I want to have a crease, I'm gonna kind of just randomly put lines there, make it dark, shade around it. Okay, so let's say I finish that whole section. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start cross hatching. I'm gonna go this way now. Same brown, I haven't changed browns yet. And then color it in here. Then I'm gonna stop.